So I want to tell you how I went from being an athlete to an out of shape dad and back again. And here's the story. I grew up playing sports. I loved soccer and I played basketball some and baseball, but I had a passion for soccer and that I pursued that from elementary through high school and then into college. I just played some intramural soccer, but stayed in shape and pursued that even after. Played indoor on a league, and then um, when I got involved in my career, I was asked if I could help with the varsity high school soccer team. And so I became the head coach for the varsity boys soccer team, and I enjoyed that and traveled all over the state, and we went to nationals, and it was incredible. I loved it. I did that for about 10 years, and I stayed in shape through all of that from college all the way through. Started having kids. We had 4 kids, and my wife and I did, and life got busy and I could no longer continue coaching soccer anymore, and so I had to let that go. And because I let that go, I let some other things go, and I found myself in my late 30s really struggling with my physique, and I never had to worry about what I was eating. I mean, I would go to bed at night and eat a bowl of ice cream and drink a cup of coffee. Like my caffeine receptors were fried, and I could just eat whatever I wanted to because I never had to worry about my body holding weight. But that began to slow. And as it does, as we get older, all of us go through this where eventually the metabolism and our activity and the food we're eating and our habits all begin to change, and not having any education around all of that, I didn't know how that was all going to play out in my life. And so things began to change. I began to gain weight. I was tired when I got home, and I wasn't active with my kids like I wanted to be, and I knew things were not right. And by 37, I was wearing a spare tire around my waist, and I never had gained weight before, and I just joked about it. For 2 years this went on where I felt really stuck internally, but externally I was just kind of laughing it off and joking about it. Maybe the one day I'll do something about it. Well, about age 39, I had started to try to do something about it. I had done some running. I had done some, I'd gone to the gym a couple times with some friends. It was very random, very sporadic, and I knew how to run. I knew how to work out as far as being ready for a soccer game is concerned. But I didn't know what to do with this 39-year-old body now that I had. And how do I get everything going in the right direction? And how do I fuel my body instead of just eating? And all of that was foreign to me. I was reading some stuff, and I was talking to my wife about it, and eventually I just felt like I cannot figure this out. It was overwhelming to me, and maybe there are some of you who think like, well, how can you get overwhelmed about that? But for me, I was stuck and I was overwhelmed, and I didn't have a background in all of this, and so here I am trying to figure it out and trying to move forward with how to fix this. And I finally decided enough is enough. I told my wife, I am not going to turn 40 and still be like I am. So that was June, and my birth month is May. And so I decided June, the start of June, I was going to take a year, and in a year's time, I was going to be in the best shape of my life when I turned 40. Now, how was I going to do that? Well, I had been following somebody I respected, their social media on Instagram, and I reached out. You know, the coaches have those DM me the word fit if you want my blueprint or you want to learn how to get fit. And so this has been now 7 years ago, and I reached out and I got on a call with that coach, and he began to walk me through the plan. I signed up for 4 months. For 16 weeks is what I could afford, and for 16 weeks I signed up for his program, and that program, that one decision changed my life. I mean, completely changed my life. I got where I knew what I was doing in the gym. I went and got a membership at Planet Fitness, and I have kept that membership ever since then, and I have continued to go to the gym, and I have been faithful in that routine. What I did back then is what I still do today, and what I really want to do for dads just like you watching this video. My passion is to help dads who feel stuck, like I felt stuck back then. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have the education behind it. I didn't know what macros were. I mean, you talking about macros, I had no idea what macros were. And so now I'm tracking macros and learning what all of this means and how many calories I'm supposed to be. I had no idea about any of that. That coach helped me, and fast forward, after 4 months, I was already in the best shape of my life, and I decided I was going to go all the way through to my promise to my wife was that by the time I turned 40, so I continued. And by the time I turned 40, I was in the best shape of my life, and I had no regrets for making that decision then. And I didn't look back over those 12 months and think, wow, what a waste of time. That was a lot of hard work, and well, I'll never do that again. I was fired up. And my hope is that you will become fired up also, and you will make the most important decision for your health and really for being able to show up for your family like the man you want to be. You want to be that man that is confident in who he is, not just in your physique, but in your mindset. Like you have conquered this thing that many people just kind of like let life happen. Eat whatever, do whatever, but not you. You're going to take the bull by the horns. You're going to make the decision to move forward and make the changes and adjustments. That's not a diet, and it's not a fad, and it's not some extreme. You, busy dad, are going to make a change for your lifestyle. That is what Dad Tough is all about. I started Dad Tough for dads just like me who felt stuck and did not know what to do to change that feeling, how to get the body that you want, how to eat to fuel your body and make it sustainable for the long haul. So if that's you, this is for you. The Dad Tough program is specifically designed for people just like you.